Well, it looks like the Dodgers' demise has been greatly exaggerated. What's up, everybody? I'm Jim Rodriguez. Welcome to a new week and the Monday here on Dodgers Latest. So very happy you could be part of our show today, and the community couldn't do this without you. I want you to hit us up right here on X and on Instagram at JRod Show, and right here on our YouTube page. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the thumbs up button. Make the algorithm do its thing, man. The community is growing. Subscriber count, viewers. Thanks to you, the very best part of Dodgers Latest. We're going to have some comments for you. And, of course, hit up our partners over at Kalshi, where you put in the code word FANARCHBASEBALL. You get 10 when you trade 10. We're going to have a nice prediction market trade for you this day as the Dodgers are off, winging it to Georgia. The Dodgers opening up a quick 6-game road trip. 2 cities, Atlanta for 3 and Detroit for 3. And man, oh man, oh man, Dodgers just finished sweeping the Pittsburgh Pirates. And boy, all of a sudden, it's funny what a difference this week makes, right? Dodgers go to Denver, swept the Rockies, came home, brief little homestand, swept the Pirates. 6 straight wins. That matches a season high for the Dodgers. Remember, before this 6-game winning streak, the Dodgers had lost 11 out of 16, where they looked very much like a wild card team that were in the sense that they were going to have to play in the first round. Well, they're now to 80 wins. They have a 9-game lead over the Padres, 11 over the Diamondbacks. They're only 1 game behind Milwaukee now for the best record in baseball and that coveted number 1 seed. And they have a 4-game lead over the Braves between second and third place, which means the Dodgers would not have to play a first-round wild card series like they did last year. And all of a sudden, that 4-game bulge over Atlanta is pretty good as the Dodgers actually travel to Atlanta, starting for a 3-game series this week on Tuesday. Tyler Glasnow is going to be back on the mound for the Dodgers. So all good news coming up. Of course, we'll get into Tyler Glasnow's return tomorrow. Yesterday, we saw Blake Snell, man. What a performance. 6 shutout innings, couple of hits, 6 strikeouts, 94 pitches. Pitch count got a little bit up because he ended up walking 3 guys. But he's 2-0 with an ERA of 1 since his return from the injured list. That's 2 earned runs in 18 innings. He's gone basically 3 starts, 6 innings each outing. And he's looked great. He looked like the Blake Snell of old, dominating. And I'll tell you what, this is really starting to fit the script of last year, right? Blake Snell came back in August after an injury, pitched great down the stretch, and was absolutely unhittable for the first couple of rounds of the playoffs. Boy, we'd love to see that. Of course, Tyler Glasnow coming back tomorrow, which we'll get into. And the Dodgers seem to have figured it out as they shut out the Pirates yesterday 4-0 and have gotten to that 80-win mark. And all of a sudden, there's a bit of a confidence. And I get it. Listen, I know the Rockies aren't any good. The Pirates are not quite there yet. But you play who you play. And for the Dodgers, going into this 6-game road trip against 2 teams that are, in playoff contention, both the Braves and the Tigers. And by the way, it'll probably be Scooble's return to Detroit this weekend after he got his first win as the Dodger on Saturday. Big week. Big stuff going on, and of course the Dodgers with some changes. Obviously, Andy Pages is going to be gone for pretty much almost the entire regular season. He should be coming back maybe the last week of the regular season, and if the Dodgers do indeed have that bye, it'll be probably ready to go for the division series after breaking his hand after getting hit by a pitch. They ended up putting a compression screw that basically holds the 2 bones together and hope that it'll heal faster. So a speedy recovery to Andy Pages. So he's going to be out 4 to 5 weeks. They've got Alek Thomas now to play center field. We'll get into that a little bit coming up on the show. But other than that, it's been all good news this week for the Dodgers as they have once again showed that they are one of the elite teams in baseball and the favorite to win the World Series. So that 6-game winning streak is awesome. More good news. How about the return of Shohei Ohtani? On Saturday, he ended up having not a bullpen session, but he had a live BP session to Will Smith, by the way, who's getting ever so closer to coming back. 30 pitches in a simulated at-bat to Will Smith. Last time we saw Shohei on the mound was July 3rd. Remember, he's 8-2 with a 1.79 ERA. The plan is to have a bullpen session in Atlanta this week, maybe Wednesday. And then we could see Shohei back on the mound as a starter at Dodger Stadium when the Dodgers return home after this 6-game road trip. Remember, they're back September the 1st for a 9-game homestand. They play the Cardinals, the Nationals, and the Reds. And by the way, just to put a little bow on how well the Dodgers are playing, the Dodgers, if you look at in terms of strength of schedule, if you're thinking about can the Dodgers do this, well, they have the easiest schedule, the remaining games of the schedule. It's the easiest schedule in baseball for the Dodgers in terms of playing teams with winning percentage. Remember, they still have 7 games left with the Reds. They're playing the Cardinals, the Nats. They have a series against the Giants. All of a sudden now, they might have gone over this turbulent part of the schedule. They've come out of it fine on the other side. 80-51, 9-game lead over the Padres, and a nice comfortable bulge over Atlanta now. They've lost 2 out of 3 to the Braves at Dodger Stadium, so not that they need to sweep, but it would help to at least win the series against Atlanta. That way, the season series is 3-3, and then they'd have to go to some other tiebreakers. Remember, they don't have the tiebreaker against Milwaukee, so they'd have to have an out better record than the Brewers to get the number 1 seed. So lots still to play for, but Shohei Ohtani could be back on the mound. Wow, that's crazy. Next homestand when the Dodgers return home, September the 1st. Now, our buddies at Kalshi, they have been great partners. Baseball season is winding down, but you could trade on every single game. Preseason football, NBA is getting ready to get started on as well. And on Kalshi, you could trade on every single game through the prediction market. So we're thinking best record in baseball since the Dodgers aren't playing today. The Brewers have the best record in baseball at 81-50. Then come the Dodgers, 1 game behind Milwaukee with that 80 wins. And the third best record in baseball are the Rays, 77-53, 2.5 games behind Milwaukee. So who's going to have the best record in baseball? Well, the Dodgers are the favorite. They're trading at a probability of 51% to have the best record in baseball. $100 trade gets you 173. The Brewers, 43% favorites to have the best record in baseball. $100 trade gets you 213. The Rays, that might be interesting. They had the best record in baseball for a minute. They are trading at a 6% probability to have the best record in baseball. $100 trade, better than 5-1, $530 if you trade that on Kalshi. So lots to think about, lots to have some fun on Kalshi. And remember, you're trading against peers in a live market, so there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, you download that Kalshi app, use the code word FANARCHBASEBALL. That's FANARCHBASEBALL. You get $10 when you trade 10. That's Kalshi, Kalshi. You can trade on anything, and they mean anything. Great partners, our buddies over at Kalshi. So, Dodgers have a little bit of a revolving door now at center field. We mentioned Andy Pages had a compression screw put in his left hand to hold the bones together. Hopefully that will speed up some healing. They're thinking 4 to 5 weeks, which puts him at the end of the regular season. Alek Thomas got called up. Remember, the Dodgers picked him up after Arizona essentially designated him for assignment. Thomas may be an interesting figure come the postseason. He was a postseason hero for the Diamondbacks in their World Series run of 2023. Had a couple of big home runs in the league championship series against the Phillies. Had already had a couple RBIs in his Dodger first weekend at Dodger Stadium. So the idea is Alek Thomas, he's going to play center field. He's going to be the guy against right-handed batters. It's going to be sort of a platoon situation between Alek Thomas, Kike Hernandez, and Tommy Edman in terms of center field. Obviously, performance will be a big part of it, but it looks like Alek Thomas is going to get the everyday center field position as long as there's a right-handed pitcher on the mound. So, well, that being said, again, that batting average, 188, he struggled. There was a reason why he got released, was playing well in AAA, and he got the call. I mean, again, I like the fact that he's got big league experience. I like the fact that he's played in some meaningful October postseason baseball, which what the Dodgers are going to face in the near future. And, again, you wonder if Andy Pages is when he comes back, how quickly is he going to be? Because, again, the bone will heal in 4 to 5 weeks, but then your timing, get back on there. So would the Dodgers not play him in the division series? try to get him some rehab work down in the minor leagues, in terms of in their minor league facilities, and then get him ready for a possible league championship series run. It'll be curious to see what they do, but Alek Thomas is going to get an opportunity. So if he performs, he might be the guy in center field until Andy Pages is ready to come back. So again, amongst all the good news, that was the bad news about Andy Pages being out. But yeah, Dems is the breaks. That is baseball, and the Dodgers getting ready for that postseason rotation. And I'll tell you what, it's looking pretty good now that Snell is pitching great, and the return of Tyler Glasnow tomorrow in Atlanta. Now, we always want you to be part of the show. You're the very best part of Dodgers Latest. Couldn't do this without you. And then, over the weekend, I basically pointed out there, like, what would be your Dodger postseason starting rotation? And the good pastor says, I like in this order Yamamoto, Skubal, Snell, and Glasnow. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. And our buddy Jimmy said, I'm with you on Glasnow. If he comes back and is pitching well, I'd like to see him in that Game 4 situation. Prefers the lefty-righty-lefty combo of Snell, Yamamoto, Skubal, then Glasnow. Roki is pitching better, and Ohtani's top-notch. I don't know if I'd start one of them in the playoffs. If I did, it would be Shohei. Yeah, I mean, I think Shohei's return will be basically as a glorified opener. I don't think the Dodgers are going to let him. I mean, again, I say this now. He goes out there, looks great. We all know what a fierce competitor Shohei is. I almost feel like Shohei, with this embarrassment of riches that the Dodgers have starting now, I think they're going to make him sort of a glorified opener. Maybe one time through the batting order, 3 innings, 4 innings. Maybe then you bring in a Roki Sasaki. Maybe then, again, I don't know if we're going to see Justin Robleski the rest of the season as he's dealing with that forearm strain. Hopefully he's okay. Robleski's role at the beginning of the season was to basically be the guy who would come in after Roki Sasaki, as Sasaki was going to be sort of a glorified opener. But Roki Sasaki is pitching pretty well now. So the Dodgers are really going to have an interesting situation. I think Yamamoto has to pitch Game 1. I think Skubal has to pitch Game 2, and then you kind of figure it out, whether it's, again, but we've seen from Snell the last 3 outings, man, he looks all to be the Game 1 starter. Can you imagine the Dodgers having Skubal pitch Game 3? That's how deep that is. Wow, we'll get into that as well. I don't necessarily know if Glasnow is, again, we have to see how he performs, but I don't necessarily see Glasnow being a playoff starter. I could see him being a long guy out of the bullpen. Somebody gets knocked out early. Somebody gets into trouble. A Will Klein, Justin Robleski kind of guy. That's what I see Glasnow. Less of a starter. I think the Dodgers, if he's healthy and he's ready to go, I think they're going to have Ohtani in that starting rotation in the playoffs. And I think Glasnow would be a long man in the bullpen. But that's still a bit away. We got to get Glasnow back on the mound tomorrow in Atlanta, see how he looks, and that gives the Dodgers some good problems to figure it out. No game today. Dodgers in Atlanta starting tomorrow. 3-game series there, then off to Detroit, and then a big 9-game homestand against some teams that are scuffling. So the Dodgers, with the best record in terms of strength of schedule, the easiest schedule in terms of strength of schedule for the remainder of the season as they try to pass the Brewers, end up being with the best record in the National League, even the best record in baseball, to get that first round bye and await some playoff opponents. Remember to hit me up right there, X on Instagram at JRodShow, and right here on the YouTube page. Oh man, we're getting so close to some milestones. Can't wait to share those for you. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the thumbs up button, make the algorithm do its thing. Touch some grass, enjoy your Monday. Back at it tomorrow in the heart of Georgia as the Dodgers and Braves get after it over at Truist Park. I'm Jim Rodriguez. Let's have some fun. Enjoy your Monday. And remember, it's always time for Dodger baseball.